Hi everyone, today's the day. We're making the Mad Hatter's hat in this workshop. So let me show you what you need to do and what you need to have for this project. So first, you need to find a hat that kind of has the shape and size of the wanted Mad Hatter. I chose this Irish leprechaun hat, which we're obviously going to decorate and cover and material and different stuff. Also, next thing I bought is a curtain in Village Value. It kind of has this velvety feel to it. It's very nice, so I'm going to use this color to basically cover up all around the hat. Also, you need your all-purpose glue, your trusty meter, a really thick needle, I'll show you why in a second, some decorations. I also bought some spikes and Cruella. And you will also need some cotton cord. You will also need a bag of skulls. These ones I found them at the dollar store. And this is a planned hanging chain. So chains are always fun. So the first thing you want to do, you want to take your curtain and just start taking measurements basically for your hat. And the first measurement that you want to take is actually the top of the hat, right? So all you need to do is to just take a marker, draw the line around, it doesn't need to be perfect, and just cut it out. So for the sake of saving time for the video, I have already done that. This part does cover the top part of the Mad Hatter. Now the same thing you will do for the base, because the base needs covering as well. So you will just put your hat onto the thing and just draw again a circle, cut it out. So at least you actually need to done. Measure around the hat and cut out the part that covers it all around. See? That way. Again, it doesn't need to be perfectly straight, you just need to be sure that you cover all the parts. And since mine is kind of tilted, it was a little tricky to cut it, but I mean, I still did it. Okay? Okay, so to continue with the Mad Hatter, now you have your pieces out, take the circle that covers the top of the hat, and what you're going to do is just randomly cut it as though it's been torn apart, because we're going to actually restitch it together. So it's going to give this really nice effect. Like that. And I just cut it maybe like this as well. So that's what it gives you, right? This is the first part. And then you're gonna take the cloth that covers around your hat and pretty much do the same thing. Just have fun cutting at it. Just make sure you keep a pattern, because otherwise you're gonna get lost in your pieces. Just cut them as though somebody came over and tore the hat apart. Go. You can go and cut smaller pieces, basically. Didn't need to be all very big. Okay. So let me show you. This is the torn Mad Hatter that we're gonna put together. That's what goes around. And the top part is this little pizza looking thing. Olga, we see you. So there. Okay, so up till now, I have already put on the pieces on the hat, and the way I did it, I basically just followed the pattern, glued them with my all-purpose tacky glue, and wait for a little bit to dry off so they will actually hold. And I just started basically pass the cord through the needle, the end, oh, you're gonna triple knot, because the needle is pretty thick, so I mean you don't really want the knot to go through with the rest of the cord, right? So there you go. And I'm just going to find a little spot that I didn't finish up, like for instance this one right here. There's still a piece that's not sewn up, so I'm going to start it. The way you start it, you really started from the inside because that's where all the mess is and the tying up of the cord and the residues and everything. You really just want the sewing to show on top. So here we go. And just continue. Just be careful, and you really have to push through because this needle is pretty thick. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just really eyeballing where I want my needle to come out. Push it out. Pull. Go. And in. So this part is basically done, right? And you're just going to tie a knot on the inside and just cut it. So I'll just show you. You just cut and make a knot. Cut whatever is left. There you go. So you have this stitch done. And if you notice, the top of the hat, the previous circle we had, I basically put it on top as well, and I glued all the pieces. So I will need to have basically the stitching done over these ones. Okay? Alright, so now you have all those pieces sewn up, it's time to do the bottom, right? So as you previously recall, we have already pre-cut all the pieces. This is basically the last piece that's left in my hat. This one, that's the bottom. It's going to be used to cover up the last green part right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to flip it over, put the hat on top of it, so it kind of covers more or less what you want, and then you're just going to use some pins to pin it up together. So that just to hold it. So you have it held. You're gonna flip it around, and basically this part where the head goes, you're just gonna need to cut through it, right? So let me just have to kind of grab it and make a little cut here, and then you're gonna have to cut out the hat. Oh, the hole for the head, I mean. Alright, so now that you have your hat cut out, the hole cut out, you can just remove your pins. The way you're gonna work with this is, what I like about this hat, it's very foamy, so you can literally just kind of mess it up a little bit, and you're gonna need to pull this through the base of the hat. Okay, there you go. I'll just read. So what we're gonna do now is glue this part to the bottom. Wait for it just to dry a little bit, and then we're gonna sew all around it and this part inside. Okay, so let's just around, glue it together. You don't have to cover the whole base, but just enough for the material to actually stick to the hat. Don't be afraid to use a little bit more glue. Okay, I'm just really just putting little. So now you just spots. Make sure you kind of apply a little bit of pressure on it, and you just wait for it to dry. Okay. Alright everybody, so now that your hat is dry, I'm going to show you how I did the sewing around, because it's a little bit more tricky than the ones on the hat, okay? As I said, you have to make sure that this layer is long enough so you don't get any green stuff sticking out. So this is this is an example of a fault that I did, but it's okay because I can just take a black marker and kind of color it under. So it's not that bad. So let me show you how I did the stitching. So let's see. Just go there, just like that. Stick it out. Make sure it's nicely hidden, and then just go around. Okay. Now, all you have to remember for this is that you're gonna have to go in and out. See? Okay, get closer. In and out. Then again, in and out. See? So this one becomes straight. Once you got that, you have to just to go and about. You understand? Again. So let's see. In and out. In and out. Just fix this one. And then again. And about. All right? So, and in and out, about. Okay? So now all you have to do is basically make a little knot. Just go loop-de-loop. One loop and two. Go. And there we go. So you have the whole part of the hat around patterned. Okay? I'm gonna take care of the little residues that are sticking out a little bit later. Now we're gonna have to do the part on the inside. Okay? Alright, so now we're gonna continue sewing around the hat. Now this one is pretty much very, very simple because it's not as tricky as the bottom part as we've seen previously, right? So all you have to do is really just take your needle, feel where you want the needle to come out. Let's say I want it right out here, right? See? And then I want it to go back right under. Stick it in. Inside, and that's what it gives you. See? The whole pattern around. That's it. So just continue. There we go. Come there. And this little part that's sticking out, I can just tuck it back in. There we go. And just sew over it. See. Now this is what your hat is supposed to look like. So I did the stitching. Basically I was having a little black piece showing up here, but it's because I was really eyeballing the thing. That's why you really have to have enough material to be able to cover everything. Just be careful. But this is not too bad because I am planning on putting a huge decoration around the hat, so this might actually not show up at the end, right? So this is more or less the finished hat, the base. Now all you really have to do is to decorate it and just to take care of, you know, the little sticky details. Okay? Like, let me just give you a better look. It's awesome.